Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
We're on the air, I think. 972-647-1893 is the number. We just found out that the on-air light doesn't have anything to do with telling us whether or not we're on the air.
Actually being on the air. And we've been doing this for a really long time.
We don't know.
We don't know. We'll wait for Mel to go, hey!
So this is Gene Lantz on the Workers Beat, and I'm here with
Bonnie Mathias. Good morning.
Bonnie's wearing her CWA 6215 shirt today. It's
volunteer shirt.
It's kind of loud.
Yes, it's very loud. I love it.
It's red. Let me give a few things that are coming up. Oh, look, Brian Caldwell called I just got the word when we were about to go on the air. So, Brian, if you're listening, call in 972-647-1893. We can talk on the air.
Sure.
I hope it's not really intimate, whatever he wants to talk to me about.
Wow, me not.
972-647-1893.
I won't listen.
Station loves it when you call. Here's what's coming up. On October the 1st, which is Tuesday, Inequality for All is a movie at the Angelica Theater in Dallas, followed by discussing featuring AFL-CIO leader Mark York. Now, I'm looking forward to this because Mark has been the head of the Dallas AFL-CIO for some time, but he hasn't really had a chance to lay out how things are going to be different, or if they're going to be different, or what. Job with Justice has tickets, and their tickets are $10, and the box office tickets are $11, so get your tickets from Job with Justice. On October the 3rd at 12:30 p.m., Dallas chapter of the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans meets at Bonnie's Hall, 1408 North Washington. That's 12:30 in the afternoon. Everybody's invited. On October the 5th at 2:30, everybody should meet at Rivershawn Park for a March for Immigration Reform.
Yes.
That will be a big deal. On October the 9th at 7 p.m., Job with Justice meeting has been postponed. It will not happen. The usual second Wednesday meeting will not happen, and it will be on October 23rd. The reason for that is that Rosemary is in Brazil.
Oh, cool.
Well, she's not in Brazil right now. She's in Austin at an organizing thing. But
she'll be on her way to Brazil.
She'll be going to Brazil, I guess, Monday or Tuesday or something like that. And so then they'll have the Job with Justice meeting on October the 23rd, and that'll be at Bonnie's Union Hall, 1408 North Washington. Tomorrow, September the 29th, United Auto Workers Local 848 members will find out just how bad it is, or maybe how good it is, but probably how bad it is, in their struggle for a decent contract with Triumph Aerostructures. Let's see if we can take Brian's call. This may be Brian Caldwell. Good morning. Thanks for calling KNON.
Good morning, Gene.
Is this Brian Caldwell?
This is Brian Caldwell.
Right on. I've been wanting to talk to you. How's that business going? You're putting up those signs and stickers in favor of your union.
It is going well. It's kind of bittersweet, I guess, talking to the local businesses, knowing possibly that the Jefferson Street facility will be leaving.
They're going to close the old LTV plant on Jefferson, right?
Yes.
That is so cold.
They told us by approximately March of this next year, and then dates have been mixed up here and there.
Yeah. Try to adjust your phone. I can understand you, but it sounds funny. Try to talk directly into it or something. Turn down your radio or something. Go ahead, though.
Okay.
They're going to. Oh, now you're much more clear.
Okay.
So they're going to close the plant. So that's pretty bittersweet, or pretty just plain ugly, if you ask me.
Well, bittersweet, I guess, comes from the bitter part from the Grand Prairie side, going down to the Red Oak.
They're going to open a new plant in Red Oak, right?
Red Oak?
Yeah. two massive facilities down there.
Yeah.
And Sherry Chardane and myself went down there the last 2 days talking to the local businesses down there. Of course, that's the sweet part, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh. So how are they? How's the response when you talk to the local business persons? Are they for the company or for the union?
Well, they're very, very receptive of the union coming in. We talked to a couple local businesses down there. And
more than a couple. I got pictures from your union president. I got 6 more of them last night and I already had about 10.
Yeah, Sherry and I, we did a good job together, and they received us quite well. A couple of the local businesses down there told us that Triumph had talked to them. I don't know the exact form. They said Triumph had promised high-paying jobs of $60,000 to $65,000 a year.
Oh, man.
Which I believe that is not the truth because, exactly some of our current employees not even making that, and for them to, in my opinion, lie to these community businesses and the population down in Red Oak is just not right. I think they're just taking advantage of the situation in Red Oak. We told the businesses that even if they start off at $10 to $11 an hour, in 5 years they will still probably be at $10, $11 an hour.
Because the company's trying to open that plant non-union.
Correct.
If they get the union in there, there will be some good paying jobs. But it ain't because of the company.
And that's what we explained to them. If the workers come in at $10, $11 an hour with the union, every quarter, progression wages, benefits, vacation, 401k. I mean, without that, a non-union shop, everybody would be working just to make a living for their kids, their electricity, their rent.
Sure.
With union-paying jobs, you'll have good money to spend on luxury items, and our money's their money is what we explained to them. I explained to them my son started off at $10, $11 an hour approximately 9 years ago, and now he's up to approximately maybe $25 an hour. So without a union in there, yes. So without a union in there, 5 years from now, they'll still be at $10, $11 an hour.
Sure. No company pays good wages out of the goodness of their heart.
Nope.
That just does not happen.
That's so sad.
But I'm pleased to hear that the community response around Red Oak and around Grand Prairie is very much in favor of good jobs and good union jobs.
Oh, yes. Over the years, I've worked approximately about 12 years in the business community in Grand Prairie, and it's been very sweet. They know where, the bread and butter comes from. And like I explained to the businesses down in Red Oak, the company might supply the bread, but the union's going to put the butter on it to make it that much sweeter.
Well, also, did you have any particular individual responses when you talked to any of the young local merchants?
There was a barber shop that said they were ready for it to come. They actually had a barber shop set up in Jefferson Street facility area, and they had already moved down to Red Oak.
Oh, I see. They were in Grand Prairie, and they saw the plant moving, so they moved to Red Oak.
Yes, sir.
I'll be darned.
And there's a couple, businesses down there. They told us my dad worked there, my father-in-law worked there. I have customers that come in that work in the Dallas Grand Prairie facilities, and they've been talking about it. Sherry and I, we stirred up, a lot of talk down there and a lot of untruths in what the Triumph company is telling the local citizens down there.
Sure.
And they were very, very, very receptive to us. And like I said, I explained to the business owners, with the union or without the union, the differences that will come. And we told them we will be there. The union will be there.
Brian, you said your son worked for the same company you work for.
Yes, sir.
That's 2 generations. That means people have been depending on that the old LDV plant for a long time to make a living, right?
Yes. Well, actually, he's actually 4th generation. Both my grandmothers, my mother, my father, my brother still works there. ex-cousin, ex-wife, ex-mother-in-law, ex-father-in-law.
Maybe you should tell us who isn't related to you.
Yeah,
well,
but the thing is that people have depended on that old LTV plant and that community has depended on that plant for generations.
So
yes.
Can I ask a question, Brian? Are the folks that are at the current plant in Grand Prairie, do they have the opportunity to follow their work to Red Oak?
The only way they've been offered to follow their work down there is for them to quit where they're at right now, making good wages, go down to Red Oak and reapply at a non-union shop.
So, yeah, they can.
Yeah,
some of them have been picked and can move,
right.
but they won't be taking the same job.
Right.
This is like on the outsourcing. People say our jobs went to Mexico. Well, it wasn't your job that went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
What they got in Mexico was some crummy job,
right.
some horrible job. Your job just disappeared.
That's right.
And that's what Triumph Company apparently is trying to do.
So, what are the chances of organizing this new shop?
Well,
that's a lot of
that's
hard
up
work.
in the air. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, with a lot of hard work, I know with Sherry's very excited and nervous and angry and disheartened as we were driving down there.
Yeah, now, Sherry's not your wife or sister or anything. This is just another worker in the plant, right?
This is another co-worker, rank and file that we decided to step up, and a lot of people are, they're concerned. But I've tried to talk to them just like I have Sherry, and Sherry, I think, was very, I guess, pleased, or that void was filled in her stomach of what's going on. Because when you get active and participating in the actions of what the union is doing, you get a lot more insight, and you feel a lot better. It fills that void. You're doing something versus everybody just saying, what's the union? The union, they apply that to the representatives, whether it's our president, our chairman. Well, the union is not the chairman, the negotiating committee. The union is us workers all together working hand in hand with those representatives.
So it feels a lot better when you get in there and get your hands dirty on it, huh?
Oh, yes, it does. Sherry and myself, we put out approximately 40 of the orange stickers down in Red Oak, came back, helped put up some signs outside the plant as employees were leaving yesterday. Why not Red Oak? It was great. It was a great feeling, and I think Sherry was very pleased in being involved, and it helped out.
Good.
So I'd rather be part of the solution than just part of the problem.
Yeah,
that's correct.
And I have a notion that a lot more people like you, Brian, and like Sherry Chardane are going to come forward if this struggle goes on. And of course, we won't know till tomorrow.
That's true.
We won't know till tomorrow.
Step up and do the job. And I know back in the 80s when I came in, and I was in my 20s, and I was just kind of scared to death. But, everybody pointed everybody to the hall. We got a meeting. We got to wear our shirts. We got to do this. We got to do that. We followed suit. But over the years, we've stepped up and done our job.
What do you mean by wear your shirts? Is that like Bonnie's wearing a big union shirt today? You got union shirts y'all are supposed to wear?
Mondays and Fridays we're supposed to wear our shirts, our blue union shirts, new ones that were passed out to everybody. It shows the sign of solidarity to the company that we're staying together and working together, and they see that blue wave of shirts coming in, they're going to go, oh my.
So you think people in your union will stick together through this crisis?
I know they will. They've been disheartened by what the companies come in, basically tell them their tribal knowledge and their years of experience doesn't really mean nothing, and all the bean counters can figure all this out on a computer and make it happen. It's very disheartening.
It's disheartening for a lot of people, but you're saying that they're going to pull through it.
We will. The union, yes, we will. Because once we stand up and fight and show them we're all together, show them that Red Oak citizens are behind us for better paying jobs and not to be lied to on the wages and benefits the company is telling them, we will stick together and we will win.
So it looks like the community in Grand Prairie is going to be devastated, and it looks like the community in Red Oak might get good jobs if the union comes in. It looks like the union people are going to stick together, according to Brian Caldwell, who's part of 4 generations of people that work out there.
That's pretty awesome.
And tomorrow night at midnight is the contract expiration. And they have a meeting tomorrow at 2. The members will go in tomorrow to vote on, to decide what they're going to do and take a vote and that sort of thing. So, Brian, any final words? Any summary?
We'll just see you tomorrow. Be there. And we're going to fight. We're going to win.
I will be there.
Just want to say, we're going to paint Red Oak orange with them stickers.
All right.
That's great.
Thanks so much, Brian Caldwell. Doing a great job fighting for the union. And I happen to know this guy, and he's not getting paid for this. This is
it's another one of them.
He's a volunteer. He just stepped up. As far as I know, I don't think he's even a union officer.
Wow.
I know he's not paid staff, and he's just a guy who
outstanding.
works in the shop, and so is Sherry. They're both just rank and file activists that just really want to do something and got out there and did it.
And that's what it takes to keep this labor movement moving forward and growing is plain everyday members stepping up to the plate.
Of course, unfortunately, people will say, well, yeah, Brian Caldwell, he's a hero. And he is, but that doesn't mean somebody else can't be.
That's right.
Almost anybody could be a hero.
That's right.
All you got to do is get one foot out in front of the other one and get out and do stuff. 972-647-1893 if you have an opinion or a question. We just heard from Brian Caldwell about what the union, not exactly what the union is doing, it's what Brian's doing as a union member in lining up support in the communities, both in Grand Prairie and in the new community of Red Oak. And it sounds to me like it's working. I'm really looking forward to that. If the UAW Local 848 people go on strike, and that would be a couple thousand more or less, they will probably be joined on Tuesday by a bunch of federal employees who are going to have the rug pulled right out from under their feet. And the only good news I've heard about the possible government shutdown on Tuesday is that the Bush Library will be closed.
Oh, I'm crushed.
Of course, I don't really care about the library one way or the other. It's the think tank,
Yeah.
But they won't have the federal employees to run that thing, according to today's newspaper. The shutdown would harm the federal workers at the first moment, though. There'd be a lot of federal workers suddenly with no place to go on Wednesday. I look for the movies to be full on Wednesday because people will just be wandering around and not knowing what to do, and I think a bunch of federal workers will be going to the picture show or maybe to the park or something.
Well, let's hope they go see Robert Reich's movie.
Yeah, Robert Reich's movie Inequality for All will be playing at the Angelica on October the 1st, the same day as the shutdown.
So that's a great place to go.
7:10 in the evening, and hear the solution. We're not just going to hear the problem. I know the problem is what the movie is about.
Right.
Inequality, the wage gap, the wealth gap in America, which is just staggering. But we're also going to hear the solution. And the solution will be surprisingly simple. 972-647-1893. Please give us a call. On the shutdown, many federal payments will be delayed indefinitely if the federal government shuts down Monday night. But it's very likely that the nearly 58 million people who receive Social Security benefits would still be paid on time.
That's right.
At least if the law and history are any guide. So old folks that are worried about not getting their Social Security check, they probably will be the last ones to be hit because the Social Security Trust Fund is actually separate. It's not part of the budget. So the budget shuts down. That doesn't necessarily mean that the old people are going to start starving on the first day anyway. They keep trying to take away Social Security benefits, and that's a big part of what's going on. The House keeps putting together these bills. They say it's going to do this or that to help the economy, but what they really got in it is ways to hurt the people in the economy.
Yeah.
So you can kind of separate your feelings there, but it's a very, very big crisis. If you have an opinion about it, or if you want to say something about it, 972-647-1893. Now, we may have some people listening that want to shut the government down. I mean, heaven knows they're not popular. Congress is not popular.
No.
So maybe some people would say, let's shut the government down, and I'll take my deer rifle out, and I'll feed my family in the woods or something like that. I have known people that said such idiotic things. I actually have. So if you'd like to call in.
I've heard some of those comments too, and I have to shake my head and just walk away because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be so.
There ain't that many deer, folks.
There's not, and they're not wandering the streets of Dallas.
Yeah.
Just so you know, and it's pretty scary. It's kind of crazy.
It certainly is. 972-647-1893. Give us a call. We'll be right back.
I got to work this morning. Something seemed kind of strange. My buddy Joe was missing. There's a machine sitting in his place. I turned around and I asked my boss, can you tell me what's this all about?
Knon and Beyond Bows and Arrows 5th ever benefit powwow is coming Saturday, October 5th. It's a free admission powwow with raffles, auctions, Indian food, arts and crafts, as well as raffle dances and spot dances. Vendor space is available. The 5th ever Knon benefit powwow takes place at Four Winds Park, located at 5380 East Highway 199 in Springtown, Texas. MC for the powwow will be Knon's own Albert O'Crow and Harold Rogers. All drums and apprentices are welcome. Vendor setup is at noon. Gourd dance starts at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. A free supper break from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and intertribal dancing from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. For vendor space or more information on the powwow, call 972-835-1590. Once again, 972-835-1590. Come experience a traditional old-style benefit powwow Saturday, October 5th.
Follow Knon on Twitter at Knon 89.3 FM.
Follow us now.
Be the first to find out about Knon events and get updates on Knon. That's Knon 89.3 FM on Twitter for updates on benefits, programming, and more.
Blue Monday, I hate Blue Monday. Got to work like a slave all day. Here come Tuesday, oh Tuesday. I'm so tired, got no time to play. Here come Wednesday, I'm beat to my side.
That was Fats Domino singing Blue Monday, and I love that song.
Yep.
It's got a good part about Saturday.
Yeah.
Where Saturday
Saturday's
says
good.
His tiredness has all gone away.
That's right.
972-647-1893. And you have a caller there, Bonnie?
We have Joe on line 2. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning. This is my first time calling the show.
Great.
Hello?
Yeah, great. That's good.
I was going to talk about that Social Security thing. I'm not understanding what y'all saying. They're going to take away. They're trying to take away Social Security.
Oh no.
They're trying to.
They're trying to, but that's right now. The government is going to be unfunded. The federal government as of October 1. Unless they do some quick stuff here over the weekend. But Social Security payments will not be affected.
Oh, but I was saying, why they keep taking it out the check then if they're gonna if they're talking about discontinuing it?
They are always after Social Security. You know, the Republicans opposed Social Security when it first passed. And they've been opposing it ever since. And they have various schemes to undercut it, and get rid of it. But so far, they haven't been able to get anything past the Senate. So the law is Social Security is still intact. In fact, there's a bunch of us, retirees like me, that are fighting for a better Social Security. We want an improvement in Social Security.
Yeah. Like I've been working like 8-9 years now, and I've been putting money into the social. They've been taking money out of my check for Social Security, and I was wondering if they're gonna cut it off. Why they keep taking money out of my check? Won't they send me my money back?
Yeah, they want. That is what they want to do. They want to cut off Social Security.
To, but
will they send you your money back?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
The idea.
They won't.
Their idea, Joe, is to take away your money.
Yeah.
They won't give you money that you done put in already?
No, they're not going to do that.
That's not even come up.
That's not even, they haven't even thought about that.
It's kind of hard to believe that politicians would be as cold as they are, but actually they passed a bill in the House to cut food stamps.
Yep.
You know, and tens of thousands of people, millions of people, I think it's 4 million across the country,
That's right.
270,000 Texans would lose food stamps if that bill in the House had also passed the Senate. But fortunately, they don't have the Senate, so far the Senate's been stopping them.
And the House just continues to waste time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then another thing I was going to talk about, how can I be a part of that, or what is the union? Because I'm driving for a company called PTI out of Indiana.
Uh-huh. So you want to get in the Teamsters Union, huh?
Yeah, we need to get something like that down here in Fort Worth.
Uh-huh. Well, there's a big Teamsters local in Fort Worth. It's IBT, International Brotherhood of Teamsters 767, and they're in the phone
where
book.
They located? They in the phone book?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're on Anglin Drive in the southeast section of Fort Worth.
Okay, England Drive. I think I know where that's at.
Yeah, look them up in the phone book though, or online. You can look them up, and I would think you could just put Teamsters Union Fort Worth.
You could, but it's also International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Okay.
So look in the yellow pages under labor organizations.
All righty. I thank y'all for taking my phone call.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, Joe.
Glad to hear from you, Joe.
I listen to y'all every Saturday morning after Reverend Garnett go off.
Oh, good.
Well,
good.
that's great.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
You know, I hadn't really thought about what Joe brought up because that's really pretty smart. These guys that are trying to take away Social Security, they never talk about refunds.
No, they don't.
They never say, we're going to refund your money.
Yeah, for all us people that have been working all these years and aren't eligible to draw our Social Security.
You know, they got all kinds of ways of putting it that are dissembling. You know, in other words, they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
But what it comes down to is the Social Security is not part of the budget. And the people that keep saying that the country in crisis, so we have to cut Social Security. What they want to do is they want to steal Social Security.
They want their hands on that money.
They want to steal the money that you have piled up as your Social Security contributions, and they're just plain robbers.
That's it.
They want to steal
That's exactly right.
You know, we can't say that over the radio, can we? Can we say that?
Why can't we?
They are thieves.
We can say that here on KNON.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you could say that on some other stations, some
Maybe
commercial
not.
stations.
Maybe not,
You
because
know,
they're in with them.
That's right. And we're not, because this is a community radio station. And you only get news like this about what's happening in labor, about what's happening with working families.
If you said
only
that
hear
on another
here.
station, they would cut your salary.
Yeah, and see,
and
we
me
don't
and-
get paid. So.
Me and Bonnie, we're invulnerable. They can't touch us.
That's right.
They can't hurt us. They
Can't
can't
hurt
take
me.
away our salary.
Oh,
So we don't get
because
one.
we don't get one. That's right.
972-647-1893. Actually, the station loves it when you call.
Yeah, we do.
We got a real class of really smart people calling this today,
We
aren't
have
they? Who's
James.
next?
James on line 3. Good morning, James.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I just want to know how can the people in Fort Worth gonna get together like the people in Dallas. You haven't got a person in Fort Worth have called y'all and talked to y'all. They won't do nothing here. The police do black people wrong over here. You ain't got a priest to go out and tell the police nothing. I really scared you, like John White probably said. They started on housewoman Negro. That's all they is. You ain't got nobody have called y'all since I've been y'all to talk about Fort Worth. It sure happens. That's pitiful too. And don't have no leader in Fort Worth. That's what it's all about.
Well, you, get some folks together and find a leader.
Give him Kit Jones's number. You got Kit Jones's number in your phone?
Uh-uh.
Kit Jones is Move On over there.
Oh, that's right.
I get emails from her all the time. She says they're doing stuff. I don't really know. I don't know if I've got her number in my phone or not. It takes me forever just to find out.
Gene's technologically challenged.
Yeah, it's true.
But you could look on, I don't know if you have access to the internet, look for moveon.org and look for the Fort Worth chapter.
Fort Worth don't do nothing. These police do Negroes like a dog over here in Fort Worth. They don't do nothing. Every time the police kill somebody over here, it's justified. And the Negro won't go out and tell that chief police nothing. They scare these white folks over here.
They're not doing a thing.
No,
I'm very sorry to hear it. I know there's some good unions over there.
Yeah.
There's some good unions. folks.
CWA's over there.
There's some good unions in Fort Worth, yeah.
Yeah, but they don't do nothing about nothing, man. They Fort Worth just so far behind this film. If we have with the people in Fort Worth, they put you back in slavery time, man. Fort Worth, Fort Worth tasing that boy and killed him over there. He was out of breath and stuff. You ain't heard a black person go out and tell the police they was wrong. They won't do it. They won't do it, man. Fort Worth is so far behind this film. I listen to y'all every time y'all come on. Somebody no pull up to call y'all, see what's going on. They scared of white folks over here.
All right, let me give you a phone number. This is a Fort Worth phone number. This is Kit Jones. Her number is 817-921-0433.
All right, then, thank you.
817-921-0433.
All right, then, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kit Jones
Appreciate it, James.
from Fort Worth, and she's Move On.
Move On.
And they get into almost everything.
Yeah, I know they're always in. I mean, I see the posts online all the time.
I don't know what their overall plan is, but I know they respond to situations, and they're really, really good. 972-647-1893. We've had a real good class of people calling today.
Yeah.
With some really smart ideas. Nobody's commented much about the government shutdown, though, which is really big and is really, really open for us. You got another one?
I do. I have Kathy. She wants to talk about what's going on in Fort Worth.
Okay, Kathy from
Good morning,
Fort Worth.
Kathy.
Good morning. Thanks for calling KNON.
Hi, good morning. I can agree a little bit with what the previous caller said, but I also would like to respectfully disagree a little bit as well. I live in northeast Fort Worth, where we've been under siege by the Chesapeake and the folks who would bring in all of those compressor stations and to
fracking.
Exactly,
That's
and all
right.
of the fracking and all of that. And in fact, we recently had another hearing in front of the city council where they wanted to have some additional provisions put in so that they could do more work and things like that. And so we had a couple of successful outings at the city council meeting with a huge community outreach and outpouring. It was so full that they had us all in the overflow, all in the hallways, everything. We stood up against Chesapeake and we told them no more compressor stations in our area. So yes, sir, to the extent that when, the police do certain things, perhaps there could be a little bit more work for that. But I believe that we are more unified than folks believe, and perhaps it's just a matter of we need to get the word out there of what we're doing. And folks are just, I missed a booster club meeting just so that I could go down there to support what we were doing to stand up against the folks at Chesapeake and all of the things that they were trying to do. Because had they been successful, then it would have diminished, if not completely, depleted our property values, not to mention all of the various health risks to us in our water, in our air, and every other thing, and the danger that it posed to our children as well. So to the extent that we can do more, yes, I certainly agree, but it doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. We certainly are, and there are parents, there are folks who don't even have children, but just people who are committed to their community and want a decent living for their families and for their community. So.
That's excellent.
Do you want to
Kathy.
give out a phone number or a website or something for Fort Worth activists that want to get involved?
Well, actually, I just work through our River Trails Homeowners Association and Lakes of River Trails Homeowners Association, and so that's just where we live and where we are.
I see.
And we just band together like that. Folks that just work every day and pay our taxes and do that kind of thing. So
good for you, Kathy.
I gave out Kit Jones's number a while ago. Tunde Obaze lives in Fort Worth
yes,
too.
He does.
Yeah.
Sure
He used
does.
to be on this program, and I don't know how he'd feel about me giving out his number, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But Tunde, if you're listening, give us a call, because the guy was particularly worried about what's going on in the African American community.
Yes.
yeah. And guys, I would also want to just give a shout out to a newly elected city council person, Gina Bivens. I would say that while we have some work to do, she's really very eager and has already been sending out messages about community meetings, what matters to us, and what we need for her to put in front of the council.
Excellent.
So it's not that we don't have leadership. They're ramping up to do a whole lot of good things.
Now, wait a minute, Kathy. Now you're touching on something that I'm really interested in. Are you going to tell me that there's going to be a progressive wave of elections, that we're going to be electing progressives in the near future?
You know what? I'm pretty encouraged by what I'm hearing from her. I'm going to attend the meetings and I'll report back, because I think that she's at least trying, and I want to give her an opportunity to see what she's going to do.
Well, the reason I ask is because there's another Fort Worth person over there that's supposed to make an announcement on October the 3rd as to whether or not she's going to run for governor. Now, I don't know if she's going to or not, but the Dallas Morning News says she is.
Yeah.
Well, our very own Wendy Davis. I would be curious to see what she does do, because I support her as well. So
Absolutely. Cool.
that would be. I don't know. Who's to say?
But
And
you realize, don't you, that when all of the other major cities in Texas voted Democrat in the last couple of elections, that Fort Worth was the only one that didn't.
Yeah,
Fort Worth was the only major city in Texas.
So tell him to get
stay
on
Republican.
board, Kathy.
So do you think things are going to change in Fort Worth?
I am encouraged. I really am. I'm hopeful. So I'm gonna, as Reverend Jesse Jackson says, I'm gonna keep hope alive, and I'm gonna do my part.
All right.
All I can do.
Thanks so much. So
Thank
you heard
you.
it. You heard it first on KNON.
That's right.
This particular.
Fort Worth is on the move.
That's it. Fort
All right.
Worth is on the move.
So Fort Worth is going to join the other metropolitan centers in voting Democrat.
That's awesome.
In the future, according to you heard it here on KNON. Somebody
right.
thinks so. We shall see. But if it's true that Wendy Davis runs for governor, that would go a long way toward turning Tarrant County around.
Yep.
Even if she loses, because the Tarrant County voters would turn out to vote for their native daughter, wouldn't they?
I believe so. And
So-
I believe, if there is a woman in Texas who has a reason to vote against Wendy Davis, I encourage you to call us.
You don't think there's a reason, huh?
No, I don't. As far as women's health care goes, I can't imagine why there would be one woman in this state that would vote against Wendy Davis.
972-647-1893. Do you think Tarrant County is going to change? Do you think you're going to change? Do you think that anything is going to change? 972-647-1893. We're into this stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
I really like it. I'm going to get on to something else, though. The coming election, November the 5th, here in Dallas, we're going to have a school board election. It's going to be a hot race. And if the two candidates want to come on the Workers Beat program, I'm inviting them now to come on. We can't invite one.
No,
KNON won't let us.
Both.
But we can invite them both if they would like to come on next Saturday at 9 o'clock or the week after that and talk with us and with each other and with the radio audience. Those two candidates could. At that same election, there will be 9 proposed constitutional amendments. Texas is so crazy. To change anything at all, you have to change the Constitution, so they have to vote on all 9 of these things. The AFL-CIO, the Texas AFL-CIO, took a vote of their vice presidents. There's a whole bunch of vice presidents. I'm one of them. And they have 4 propositions that they're going to take a position on. The 4 are number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 6. So you can remember that because it's 1, 2, 4, 6. It's kind of some kind of a sequence or another. The first one's on water, a bill which would take some money out of the rainy day fund. That'll kill Rick Perry.
Oh.
They will take some money out of the rainy day fund for water. And this is one that Labor's really hot for. They also decided on Proposition 1, which provides property tax exemptions for the surviving spouse of a veteran or an armed service member who was killed in action. Proposition 2 implements a constitutional amendment eliminating an obsolete requirement for a state medical education board. Proposition 4 grants the legislature authorization to provide property tax exemptions to partially disabled veterans. So 2 of them have to do with veterans, and one of them has to do with water, and the other one is just to eliminate an obsolete requirement for state medical Education Board. So the Texas AFL-CIO recommends 1, 2, 4, and 6. Now the other 5 they don't say. The reason is because it takes a 2/3 vote for them to take a position, and so they didn't get a 2/3 vote, so they ain't going to do it.
Gotcha.
You got another caller?
We got Michael on line 2. Good morning, Michael.
Oh, wait, we're going to take a break.
Oh, sorry. We have to take a break. Hold on, and we'll be right
Michael.
back.
Just stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Tell you all a story that's close to me. Worker who's leaning on a bended knee, soiled and tattered in search of relief, fighting for some unspoken belief.
KNON and RDG Productions presents Greg A. Smith Love Expression CD release party, Saturday, October 5th at Port Davis Pub. It will be a night of love and passion designed with you in mind. This is Greg A. Smith with a personal invitation for you to come out and celebrate with me. I'll be performing with my band along with Leroy Ward and his band, Chester Burns, and Fort Worth's own The Sensational Miss Peaches. A free buffet by Bubba's Fat Burgers and Barbecue, along with Love Expression raffles throughout the night. VIP suites are available at 469-471-4180. That's Greg A. Smith's Love Expression CD release party, Saturday, October 5th at Port Davis Pub, 1313 South Lamar in Dallas. Tickets available at knon.org, Bill's Records and Elaine's Kitchen in Dallas, Beverly Young Records in Grand Prairie, and Comp Cleaners in Fort Worth. This will be a night for lovers to remember. Sponsored by RDG Productions. This is a KNON benefit concert. Yeah.
Recycle Revolution is a local recycling collection service and community drop-off center. They collect and accept all traditional recyclables, including paper, plastic, aluminum, cardboard, and glass, as well as TVs, computers, lamps, light bulbs, batteries, ballasts, and styrofoam. They offer collection services to apartments, condos, and businesses. They also offer a community drop-off located at 1703 Chestnut Street in Dallas. For more information, 214-566-3025 or recyclerevolutiondallas.com.
I wake up in the morning at 4:45. The alarm clock is relentless, for goodness sakes alive. Back to the old barnyard, the Monday morning grind. If the boss man don't fire me, I'm walking a thin line, oh Lord.
We're back on the Workers Beat. Bonnie, you got another caller?
We do. We have Michael on line 2. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for waiting.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing fine and dandy.
Good.
What's up today, Michael?
My question, I'm a ex-military. I'm a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And I receive a check in the mail for disability.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
And my question is, will I be affected? Will I still get paid and get a check?
Yes.
For disability?
Yes. Yes.
You mean if the government shuts down?
Yes.
Yeah. The president has said, he has made it clear that Social Security, military pay, military disability pay will not be affected.
Yeah, but I think that's at first.
And I think that's probably short term.
Yeah, because if the government shutdown lasts any length of time, I don't think my mic's on, is it?
Yeah.
If the government shutdown lasts any length of time, everybody will be affected, because the stores will start shutting down and the stock market will crash and stuff like that. But that's never happened before, and they've had about 17 shutdowns in the past. So today's paper says, they've been worrying us for I don't know how long, but then today's paper says, well, maybe it won't be that bad.
Yeah. So I think you'll be okay, Michael.
At least you won't be hit first.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be hit first.
We'll leave you for down the road. How's that? But don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of you, Michael. Don't worry.
I just don't want to get hit at all.
No, you don't. You shouldn't be. Absolutely. Tell those clowns in Washington to quit screwing around.
Absolutely. You are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Y'all doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Well, tell us about your military career, Michael. Where did you go? What did you do?
Well, I did basic training at Fort Polk, Louisiana. Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And I did basic there, basic in AIT, and I went to Fort Polk, Louisiana, the swamp.
Yeah.
And I did most of my activity in the woods, in the field.
I see.
I've been to Fort Irwin, California, in the desert, and did desert training.
Mm-hmm.
So
you were in the Army. You were in the Army again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not the Marines or the Navy or the Air Force. I see.
No, my dad was a Marine. He told me I went the wrong way, but I think I went the right way.
I think you did fine. I think you did just fine. I know, I was raised in a military town, and Army, you're okay.
Is it true? Is it true, Michael, that ex-military people tend to vote on the conservative side, or is it true that they tend to vote on the liberal side, or do they have any sides?
I believe they vote on the conservative side.
They tend to vote on the conservative side, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's interesting.
Because I believe President Obama has done a lot for veterans.
Yes.
And before, there wasn't too many things done for veterans, as far as veterans losing their home.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Because I almost lost mine, and I found out that there was some help for me to keep my home.
Excellent.
Good deal.
I didn't even know about that until I went to the VA.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
I encourage all veterans to go to the VA and get all the information they can that will help them.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good thinking. You heard it first on KNON.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Michael.
Have a great weekend, Michael.
Anybody else got a question or opinion? 972-647-1893. We absolutely love it when you call.
Yes, we do.
We were talking about the upcoming elections. What's worrying me more than anything else is the part-timers.
Yeah.
Part-timers fill payrolls, says the Dallas Morning News. They account for most job gains since recovery began. Now, listen to this statistics. Now, this is going to be numbers, so don't just turn off just because I'm saying numbers, because I'm going to say the percent in a minute. From January through July, the number of working Americans grew by 960,000. That's good news, right? 960,000 jobs happened, according to the Labor Department. Of that number, more than 765,000 were part-time workers. That, brothers and sisters, is 80%.
That's terrible.
They are forcing the whole workforce into part-time. We've been saying, Bonnie and I have been saying that the Walmart model is what their employers are trying to adopt all over America.
Yeah.
Part-time workers, people that are scared to death that they won't make enough hours in a given week to feed their family.
Yeah.
Just like Walmart workers.
Just like Walmart.
And 80% of the jobs created so far this year were part-time jobs. I got it from the Dallas Morning News, and they are quoting the Labor Department.
Well, and if you think about it, that's one of the reasons why we're not seeing the recovery move forward as quickly as we should.
Sure, because a few people are getting jobs, but they're lousy jobs.
They're lousy jobs.
They're horrible
That's
jobs.
Right. And they can't spend any money on anything but the absolute minimum essentials.
There's no security.
No security.
Well, they may not even have enough for the minimum essentials.
You're exactly
Bonnie, that's
right.
why they keep moving in with their parents.
And that's and applying for some type of assistance, of public assistance.
This is from the same article on Wednesday. In August, the Labor Department says there were 76.9 million Americans working part-time involuntarily, almost twice as many as in 2006. Working part-time involuntarily means you don't want to work part-time.
You want to work full-time.
You're doing it because you have to. How many Americans? 76.9. I don't know exactly what percent of the workforce that is, but I think the workforce is around 200 million. Mm-hmm. So 76.9 million would be around 30%.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a third of the workforce.
Yeah, 40% of the workforce is being forced to work part-time. How far away from slavery is that?
Not very far.
One of the callers this earlier just said we're being forced towards slavery.
Yeah.
One step towards slavery is working part-time.
That's it.
When you can't afford to work part-time. You can't feed your children on that. You have another caller? 972-647-1893 is the number. We are excited and eager. Don't forget you're being filmed too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about. Thanks, Doc.
Doc is filming us, and you can watch this on knon.org or on Two Hats Publishing.
There you go.
On YouTube. So you can find out what Bonnie and I look like. I know we sound like beautiful people.
I know, and we are for the most part.
Sort of.
You know,
if you
in a union kind of way.
if you love union people,
then you will love us.
You would love
Absolutely.
us. 972-647-1893. Give us a call. The station loves it when you call.
I would like to mention again the march next Saturday at Riverfront Park for dignity and respect. It's an immigration march.
Yeah,
that's at 2:30.
I had a union member last Tuesday, a leading union member, explain to me the other day why the AFL-CIO was completely wrong on immigration and why they were wrong on all social issues. And he says he knows because he asked his members. Well, that is a problem in the union movement. Some of the union members have made a pretty good living over the last 50 years.
Right.
And consequently, they started thinking they were Republicans.
Oh, silly
They started thinking, well, we don't need anybody else. But believe me, brothers and sisters, you need everybody else.
That's right.
You ain't going to make it by yourself.
And it's serious. I mean, if we don't all work together on this thing, we are not going to succeed.
Yeah, the labor movement is getting smaller. The organized labor movement is getting smaller. And here's a number I got from Bob Cash, who's the head of the Fair Trade Watch. He says that 55,000 factories have shut down in America since NAFTA passed. I believe that was in 1996. 55,000 factories have shut down in America. And Bob Cash really took me around the world on this question of outsourcing jobs, American jobs going overseas. He said they are all asking Representative Eddie Bernice Johnson to say no to the renewal of Fast Track.
She did.
She did?
Signed on, yes.
That is so
She
great.
signed on. She sure did.
I knew Mark Vesey did.
Yeah, Eddie Bernice did this week.
That is
sure
wonderful
did.
news.
Yeah.
Okay, let's explain what Fast Track is. Fast Track means that the bill goes through Congress and they don't get a chance to change it nor debate it. They have a few hours to debate it, but they cannot change it.
That's right.
They have to vote it up or down.
Yep.
So the trade people, whoever negotiated this thing, which is just full of corporations.
600 corporations.
They negotiate them in secret, and then they bring it to Congress and say, "Okay, you got a couple of hours to debate
look it
this,
over."
But then you have to vote it up or down. You can't change it, and so that's called Fast Track, and we don't like it.
No.
Labor don't like it. Union working people don't like it.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership is a bad deal for working folks all over the country.
Okay, there's a letter called Representative Rosa DeLaro's letter to the United States Representative regarding the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and it says, say no to the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And they're after everybody to sign on to that letter.
And EBJ has
to stop it.
Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson has signed on to that letter as of this past week. Thank heavens.
Thank goodness for Eddie Bernice Johnson. I love that woman.
CWA, we met with her. Local 6215 met with her a couple of weeks ago in her office here in Dallas. And she was very candid and said that she really didn't know enough about it to make a decision, but that if we would send her some statistics, which Bob Cash provided for us, she would take a look at it and make a decision. And she made that decision last week to sign on to oppose it.
That is so wonderful. Now, we know pretty much what all the Republican congressmen around here are going to do. They're for it. They're for Fast Track, and they're for the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Because it'll line their pockets.
Well, it's going to make a lot of money for the big corporations.
That's right.
All of the so-called free trade.
Yeah.
They call it free trade. They call it globalization. I call it gobblization, because they're gobbling up the jobs of American people. And not only our jobs, but our pollution controls.
Oh, yeah.
So we're against it.
Yes.
Unions are against it, even if the president's for it. And I don't know how the president feels about it, but even if he's for it, we're still against it.
That's right.
Now we got another caller.
Josephine on line 3.
Good morning, Josephine. Thanks for calling KNON.
Thank you for taking my call. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. You're breaking up just a little bit, so talk as directly as you can into your phone.
Okay. Last Saturday, they had a conversation with Ray, something like that, at the City Performance Hall.
Yes,
I didn't know where it was at, so I didn't get a chance to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But hearing, I've heard what was said there, and I just want to respond to that. Dallas, a lot of the visitors that come to Dallas, I've met a lot of them, like in the arts district and other areas too in Dallas. They are in love with Dallas. They said it feels like home to them. They're excited, and because it's booming,
Right.
And these programs, we talk about the problems we have in Dallas, but do know, that your listeners that are listening in, we still love Dallas. I mean, I just want you to know that when you come here, you fall in love with it, and that's not the way it used to be.
Right.
We fought. We got the Dallas Cowboys, even though they're not in Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys are known to be tough, and we want them tough. And that's the way Dallas is. We fight, and, we get along. There's a lot of us that have our problems in our own race, and we talk about Anglos. We always talk bad about the bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones. If it wasn't for the good ones, we won't be where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want your listeners to know that Dallas is a wonderful city, and it has so much to see,
Mm-hmm.
our history, so I just, we got the fair going on right now.
Yay!
So just know to your listeners that are not from Dallas or from Texas, Tom Cruise is where you can see the joke.
Don't judge us
other
by
than
Tom.
that, that's all I wanted to say. Just, Dallas is beautiful.
I think y'all mean Ted Cruz.
Thank you.
It's Ted Cruz you don't want to be judged by.
We don't want to do
Okay.
Thanks, Josephine. That was very sweet.
Yeah, that was
Thank
a
you.
real nice tribute, wasn't it? Yeah,
I did.
Dallas is a working class town, just like every place else. The people who get all the attention here are the zillionaires.
And the wacko birds.
so people think that's what Dallas is all about, but really, it's about working people, just like any other big metropolitan center. They're having a big fight over the superintendent of schools, and the caller mentioned race as part of the issue. It's interesting to see how the civil rights leaders will break down on this question. I know what the union movement wants. They want to get rid of Mike Miles, and they're very serious about that. You can find a lot more about that by staying with this station, because Jim Schutz comes on next.
That's right, and he's going to tell you all kinds of good stuff.
He's pretty much an expert on local politics and everything that happens in local politics. Whereas we talk about everything that's breaking in the labor movement and from the point of view of working people. Jim Schutz is the guy we all go to ask about what's going on in local politics. So I hope he does come in today. I was scared last time because he got here a couple minutes late.
because he was a couple seconds. I was like, oh my God, we got to keep talking.
People are expecting somebody smart to come on.
And here we
there
are.
we were.
And here we are.
972-647-1893. You still got time to squeeze in one call, or do we? I don't know. I can tell you this, the CEO to worker compensation ratio in 2012 was 273. Far above that of the late 1990s and 14 times the ratio that they had in 1965. In 1965, you could figure that your boss, the corporate head, was making about 20 times as much as you were. Now he's making 273 times
on average
as much as you are. And I say he because it's nearly always a man. It's nearly always a white man.
Yeah.
And he's making 273 times as much money as you are. If you're making $10 an hour, he's making $2,730 an hour.
And I just don't think anybody's worth that kind of money. Just saying.
We'll be back next week.
All right.
We're
Y'all
looking
have a
forward
great
to it.
week.
We got to get out of the way of Jim Shoots.
That's right.
The smart people taking over.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.